Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Life with Patty. Happy Saturday. I am in my pajamas. I've taken a shower, but I changed right back into pajamas, clean pajamas, because it is right now 103 outside and it is going to be 108. So they had originally said it was going to be 111 today, so I guess I should be thankful for those 3 degrees less, but all my air conditioners are working and it's about 79 in the house, but I will take that any day over 103 outside. So I am here to do another book review for you because I was doing 2 books at one time and I almost finished them up at the same time. So I did the Colleen Hoover book for you, and now I am doing Campbell's Boy by Mary Kendal. And believe it or not, folks, we're going to do another 5 stars, 5 out of 5. Okay, so this one is a little bit closer to my heart because it is all taking place in Colusa, California, where I live. And so this author, Mary Kendal, actually did a DNA test, and I think she lives in North Carolina, is where, I'm not going to take forever to find that out. Oh no, she lives in New Orleans, but she did a DNA test on herself and found out that she had relatives here in Colusa. So she came over here just to find out about her relatives and do some searching, and it inspired her to write this book. This is her second book. So I do want to get her first book. It has nothing to do with Colusa, but I do want to get her second book just because she did such a great job writing this book. And like I said, it's all taking place in Colusa, California in the late, well, it starts out in about 1850 and ends in about the late 1870s. And it is about a little boy, Emmett, who comes across the plains with his mom and dad. They are looking for a new place to live, like a lot of people did. And his mother, Emmett's mother, dies on the way over here. And so the father and Emmett make it to Colusa, California, where they've settled down, and his dad raised him by himself for a couple years and then realized he just needed some help. And so he called for a mail order bride, and Emmett was saying, I don't know why he has to go to Sacramento to get a mail order bird. And so, because he was little and didn't understand what was going on. And so John Campbell went to Sacramento and picked up his mail order bride, who is Anne Campbell, who actually is Mary Kendal's relative. That's who she's related to. But she based the story off of Emmett and John Campbell. And so she was from Ireland, and she already had a little one, a little girl, who became Emmett's stepsister. And she was always just kind of cold and standoffish with Emmett and strict on him, of course, but not with her own. And then she did get pregnant from John and had a little boy, which would be Emmett's half-brother. And so it's to me, it was really a good story because it took place in Colusa, and it talked about Chinatown and the tunnels underneath and a lot of the different places. So it was really, that's what drew me in. But the story itself was really good because, you know, after John Campbell, I say Kimball, I meant Campbell, after he got his mail order bride, he already owned a bar in town, and he owned a mercantile store in town, and then he bought a ranch on the outskirts of town, and he would run all 3 businesses and was successful for all 3 businesses. And so he did a protest at the courthouse for the president that he didn't want there, and back then they arrested him and put him in prison at Alcatraz. And so while in Alcatraz, he caught some kind of a lung infection, and he never got over it, and he died quite young. And so there it left Emmett with a stepmother, a stepsister, and a half brother, and he knew that he just really wasn't wanted there. But he knew that the ranch always would go to the oldest son, and so he was entitled to that. But she sold off the barn, she sold off the store, and she moved into town and kind of abandoned the ranch. And so when he went to fight for it with a town friend that was a lawyer, they lost, and it went to his little brother, and in conservatorship of Anne until the brother was 18. There are twists in the book I'm not telling you about, just in case you decide you do want to read the book. And then it goes on to talk about Emmett's life and Anne's life. And, back in the 1800s, people died early. And so, of course, John Campbell was only, I think, in his 40s when he passed away. And so I don't want to give the whole story away because it really is worth reading. Even if you're not from Colusa, California, it's a great read. And I don't want to give you the end away, what happens to Emmett, what happens to Anne, what happens to his half-brother and his stepsister. It's just a really good book. And so I actually think I will reach out to Mary Kendal and tell her that I really like this book. But she's only written 2 books, so I think maybe she would really appreciate that. And she did come to Colusa, and she stayed here for, I believe, 6 months, and doing all her investigating and, collecting information and that stuff. So anyway, so 5 out of 5 again. I've sold 15 of these books at work. I have more on order because everybody in town wants to read it now. So this is the book that I'm supposed to be reading for book club, and it's called The Commitments. And as much as I gather, it's a band that was trying to start, and it's just not drawing me in. I feel like with this book club that I belong to, the person that runs the book club, I just feel like she always just tries so hard to find books that are so, I don't know what, uncommon and not the norm, that she just goes above and beyond to do that, and then the books just aren't that great. So there are so many great books in the world. I am not going to bust my butt to read this book for the book club. So has anybody read this book? If you have, tell me what you think, because I'm honestly only into it like 4 or 5 pages. I'm not really giving it a chance, but I don't like it. So I always went back to my Danielle Steele, because she never disappoints. It's a predictable one. I can see already only on page 20, and it's called Beautiful, but I will finish this and I'll let you know how I like it. It's just an easy read. That's why I read Danielle, but I like her stories, and it's almost like some people are really into the Harlequin romance. And so I will finish that one and give you a book review, and then I will get into a more in-depth book after that. So I hope you guys have a great Saturday, and I just feel kind of lazy today, but I've been working on my scrap journal, and I've been coloring and reading a little bit, and just kind of doing stuff around the house. I am going to go in, and I think I'm going to organize my dresser that has all of my like pajamas and shorts, socks and underwear, that kind of stuff, because this 3 is 5 chores, I think. So I want to go in and get that organized. I do it every once in a while, and then it's like it always needs to be redone. So you guys have a great day. Take care. Let me know, have you read The Commitments? What did you think? Has anybody read Danielle Steele Beautiful? What did you think? And by chance, has anybody read Campbell's Boy? And what did you think? All right, I'll talk to you guys all hopefully tomorrow. Bye-bye.